Hello, Soraya Bastian here, and you are watching Beyond Breath TV, the place to be to overcome your husband's infidelity and create a beautiful marriage. Today, I want to talk to you about an uncomfortable subject that most married women who have experienced infidelity lose their mind over. It's this idea that somehow you can stop your husband from being unfaithful. In a world where we are continually given direction and order from others who claim to tell us how to act and who to be for the sake of others, I believe it becomes a false sense of power, which leads to continual disappointment as you try to conform to what you're supposed to do and supposed to be in order to receive a specific outcome. You may have heard ideas like, in order to keep your husband faithful, you need to be sure to initiate sex and be experimental. Play the perfect wife, not too needy, not too distant, just right. And watch yourself and ensure that you are in no way controlling. And as always, be sure to tell him how much you love him and appreciate him. And even though you may have done all of this and more, he was still unfaithful. Or that's what I'm assuming since you're here listening to this. And for that, I'm sorry. There's a phrase I'm sure that you have heard inside of this community. It's called betrayal trauma. In 2008, Freud defined betrayal trauma as when the people or institutions on which a person depends for survival significantly violate that person's trust or well-being. And this is what gets me the most. Since when did you start to depend on another human being for survival? As an infant or child, yes, this makes sense. But as a grown woman who is capable of providing and surviving on her own, this term boggles my mind. Let's break down the definition a little more and then get into what this has to do with stopping your husband from cheating. When Freud says, when the people or institutions on which a person depends for survival, could that be you? At the end of the day, is anybody responsible for you other than yourself? And to finish the definition, to say significantly violates that person's trust or well-being, could it be you that has violated your own trust and your own well-being in your marriage by trusting somebody else over yourself? By conforming to the rules that you think you have to follow in order to somehow manipulate and control another human being in hopes that he will stay faithful. Perhaps the ultimate betrayal is the one of yourself. When, because of his actions, you are now deemed not good enough. When because of his actions, you question your own. And when because of his actions, you must have done something to lead him in that direction. This is all false. I say boo to all of this. Do you want to know the truth? You can't keep your husband from being unfaithful. Nothing you do or don't do is going to convince him one way or another. There is no guarantee that he will display the efforts in your marriage that you are seeking, and there is a hope that he wants that for himself, because that is what is going to keep him from being unfaithful, not you. And perhaps if you want your husband to be faithful to you, then you need to be faithful to yourself. I have termed recovery is discovery. The word recovery is defined as a return to a normal state of health, mind, or strength, or the action or process of regaining possession or control of something stolen or lost. This recovery is the recovery of you. It is you reclaiming ownership for the person that you want to be in this life and in your marriage. And to be honest, so many of us have no idea who that person is because we have lived our lives simply conforming to how others think we should think, act, and be. There's a video clip of Abraham-Hicks publications where they talk about being uncheatable uponable. In the clip, there's a woman confessing to having felt off in her relationship for the past 9 months, and then recently found out that she had been being cheated on for a very long time. Abraham responds saying that we all have different levels of how much you're willing to put up with. She goes on to say that they want to be so bold as to say that whoever you are interacting with is going to violate the commitment that almost all of you want them to keep. And the commitment that almost everybody wants everybody that they're up and close and personal to keep is, I want you to promise to put me first no matter what. And that is a commitment that no one keeps. And then they say that they would like our marriage vows to go something like this. Dear one, I want you to know that as much as I love you, there is someone who comes first before you. And that is my alignment with the source within me. That is my inner being. That is who I am devoted to. That is who I am aligned to. And that is who I am feeling for. That is who I am committed to. And my promise to you is that I will give you as much as I can, the fullness of me, not a separated me. I am going to do my best to satisfy my alignment and therefore give you the gift of living with someone who is aligned. And what that will mean for you and how that will play out for you is I won't be needing or demanding behavior from you in order to keep myself happy. My happiness will depend upon my focus. There are people who feel betrayed if their partners think about other people. There are people who feel betrayed if their partner doesn't give their undivided attention to them. There are people who feel jealous if anyone feels happy at the thought or conversation with somebody else. There are all kinds of degrees of cheating on, and for the most part, any part of someone else cheating on you just means you've taken your attention away from me. And I was dependent upon your attention, being upon me, so that I can feel good. Abraham closes by saying, we really want all of you to not be dependent upon anyone for the alignment of you. That is the epitome of looking for love in all the wrong places. And that they would like you to be uncheatable, uponable, where you can say, I am stable, and my self-respect, my sense of well-being is not dependent upon your behavior. It's a powerful talk, and I'll link it below. If you want your husband to stop cheating, you have to stop cheating on yourself. Can you feel the power in this? Can you feel the sincere control of regaining ownership of you? I would be so honored to be able to show you the way back to yourself. The fastest and most efficient way to get there is to heal your emotional trauma. By clearing your emotional trauma, you regain ownership of your own thoughts and actions. By clearing your emotional trauma, you are available and willing to learn from your mistakes, own your growths and your failures, and stop blaming others for your circumstance. By clearing your emotional trauma, you build character, integrity, and self-respect. And when I think about a marriage I want to be part of, I want to be that part. I don't want responsibility for his actions, and I'm pretty sure you're ready to give that part up as well. It's time. It's time to do this healing work. So I'd love to hear from you now. Tell me in the comments below, how has the weight of the idea that you are responsible for your husband's sobriety affected your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body? And tell me in the comments what it would feel like to lift this weight off of your shoulders. And then be sure to head over to sorayabastian.com and subscribe to become a Beyond Breath Insider. You'll gain instant access to an awesome training where I share the secrets to creating a marriage full of passion, intimacy, and excitement after your husband's infidelity, as well as some exclusive content, some special giveaways, and personal updates from me that I don't share anywhere else. Thank you for joining me today. I love you. Bye-bye.